shop tour time. Alrighty, so since over 12 of you have been asking for a shop tour, I will do a very quick shop tour of what I have right now in its current state, uncleaned, with one caveat that it is slightly more dirty than usual, only because this existing workshop will be completely gone very soon and a new one will be built. So let's begin the tour. Here we have a lovely 14 by 22 garage. That's in feet. Here we have my 1980s jet bandsaw with riser block. As you can see right there's the riser block. A bunch of bandsaw blades are stored there, along with I found these bread racks in an alley, and these are the ones at the grocery store, and I just use those and pull them out, and I kind of keep just the hand power tools there. A cabinet that is broken and it contains random stuff. Down here though we have the hovering lawnmower and the Druzba, I think, saw, meaning friendship. It's another Russian weird looking chainsaw, so I got to get to that at some point. Here you actually have the Sawmill. The Sawmill is made by Woodland Mills. It can cut up to around 20 inches wide and 10 feet long. And I did put an electric motor on it. It's hidden behind that hand plane. And it works fairly well. I haven't used it in a while just because this place is a disaster and I don't have room to cut logs. But I used to cut logs right in here and it was completely fine. Here, right down here, is the motor to a gas-powered washing machine. That will be a future video as well. It's completely ridiculous. Every workshop probably has a complete bucket of rusty stuff, and this is my bucket of rusty stuff that happens to be in here. There's a saw vise, scissors, files, hammers. It's all just kind of waiting to be derusted. Here on the floor is a small Craftsman lathe. This was given to me by a viewer, and I can't wait to get to it, probably sometime next year. This is the drill press that won't die. It's somehow still running. I think it's like 1/8 horsepower motor, and it seems to be fine so far. This hairy thing is my dust collection, and it works amazingly well. If you ever saw a weird hairy Sasquatch thing in the background, it was this. This is the Dewalt Radial Arm Saw. I used to use it when this wasn't covered in stuff all over here, but hopefully in the new workshop I will have enough space to actually be able to use it when I need to use it. It works really well and it stays true, which is all I really care about. In the corner here we have the sandblaster, which I only really get to use when there isn't paint lead, which is almost never. The air compressor, stacks of lumber that I cut on the sawmill, and down this corner is another electric chainsaw that I got to kind of clean up at some point. Down here is the metal cutting bandsaw, this red thing right here. I got it for maybe 50 bucks, and it cuts metal. It's not the most accurate thing, but it cuts steel, so that's why I got it. Down here are some future restorations. We have a smelting or a smelter machine and a antique pasta maker. Right here we have basically a really expensive shelf. It's been great for just putting stuff on, and you know, it really seems to hold a lot of weight. If I do turn it on, it will cut things, but mainly as a shelf, it's been amazing. Right here is the power hammer. That will be a video as well. It's just 1,000 pounds and I need a bigger shop to kind of work around it. These right here are just my quick garage insulation attempts. This thing is electrically heated, so it's about $2.3 million a month to keep it warm. It's really hard to keep paint from freezing in here, so I gotta keep it on. There's no excuse, it's gotta be done. Down here is my collection of axe heads. It ranges from broad axes all the way down to super tiny little hatchet heads there. I will get to those one day as well, and some plain bodies that are missing all the other parts. Up here is where I keep some of the chainsaws. You can see the parts saw for the reciprocating saw, along with the normal chainsaws that more modern that I would use around the house or if I'm cutting some logs up. Right above the sawmill is some more little tiny slab storage, maybe a foot or two long. This is kind of my primo selection of mostly apple wood, so I like to kind of keep it inside here and let it dry super slowly because apple likes to twist and crack and warp. This is my 1960s Rockler jointer. This was found on the streets of New York. It's great also as a shelf. It really holds things exactly where you left them. So you might all be thinking, hey, this guy's disgusting. Well, it's true, but not because of this. For all you carpenters and framers out there, we have a lovely roof beam or truss or however you want to call it. I'm pretty sure that should be on the top plate and not just randomly screwed to the studs. The entire workshop is built like this. And finally, this is the glorious workbench. Currently working on some wrenches, but regardless of that, this is just laminated 2x4s that I got for free off the internet. One of the first things I ever built, just glued them all together, jointed them, and it's been sitting here doing completely fine. I am concerned that like one match and this entire thing not only just lights on fire but actually explodes. It's probably at least 20% penetrating oil with some brake cleaner, maybe some gasoline, basic flammable things. So it's probably going to explode. All right, thank you all for watching, and I cannot wait to show you the new workshop that is actually organized and everything is in its place. Later.